I've done it. I've fucking done it. I fixed the music industry. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what's he talking about? I have fixed the music, all of the problems of the music industry, all of the stuff. I fixed it. I've mended it. It's in here. Get Ted on the phone because I've fucking done it. Come with me as I reveal the future of the music industry. Right. Listen to this, right? Let me tell you a little about the history of the music industry and why it's all a little bit hard work and broken. Music is worthless, but what music attaches it to has always been the thing that sells, whether it's like a CD or vinyl or music tickets or whatever it is. Now, over a period of time, in the grand pie of the musician, there's kind of three bits. Now, at the beginning, musicians make the product. They make the band, they look cool, they make the music, they make merchandise, they brand the whole thing. It looks fantastic. And then what happens is the record label came in and they made the record and they owned the record. And then between that and the kind of organizations of the record label and everything else, they build the audience. So you've got the kind of the band doing the brand and the audience. The second bit is the record label and the publishing company, all that kind of stuff. And what they do is they build the audience and they actually build the finite, they fund the product. And then the third bit, which is the bit which musicians could never do, is the distribution. Now, as time has gone by, the first bit and the second bit have melded into one because technology has changed and therefore making a record has become easier and cheaper. And also, building an audience because of social media has now become technically free and much, much easier. So bands in the grand pie of things are now in control of 2/3 of the entire pie. But the one bit that lets bands down, the one bit that fucks it all up, and the one bit that I get questions all the time about is distribution. How do I get my music out to people? How do I get people to buy my music? And a big part of this is because musicians are and the entire music industry, and this is where it all breaks down, the entire music industry is putting value onto something which isn't worth value. They are putting value on music, and music is too easy to download for free and it's too easily accessible and therefore isn't worth anything. So then in your grand scheme of pie, if we could just fix that distribution aspect so musicians were in control of the product and the audience and the and the album and the merch and all that kind of stuff, but also if they could just control that distribution, if they could just be the people that could sort that out, it would be an amazing thing. Well, I fucking sorted it. You can thank me later. In the music industry, what used to happen is you've got musicians and bands making the product and you've got people and fans who like the music. Bands play and sell music, people buy that music. And then over a period of time, more and more people come in and they take their share. So the musicians are still making their music and their product, and people are still buying it, and all of a sudden, then you've got a manager that goes, I want 20%, okay, fair enough. And PR people, and they go, I want a percentage per month, and we'll get your music out there. And then iTunes, I'll take 50%, and then Spotify, who'll take, well, everything. So the musician, at the end of it, once it's gone through the whole rigmarole of going through all these different people, the musician, the inventor, the creator, the masters who've done all this work, it just gets bits taken away, pecked at, it gets to the end, and the musician goes, well, I've got nothing. Musicians are in debt because of the stuff that they've created. How weird is that? The musician creates something, by the time it's gone through everyone, it gets to the end, they don't only not own anything, but they anti-own. They owe money to all the people in the middle. It's a totally fucked up system. But because of distribution, Damian Keyes has solved the problem. People are going to, literally because of this, people are going to go, the music industry is fucked. No, wait a minute, Damian's fixed it, sorted. This is what's going to happen, and this is the future of music. Now, imagine if you're a band, you've got an audience. Doesn't matter whether it's 10,000, but decent sized audience, 5 to 10,000, or 10 million. The bigger the product, the bigger the audience, the better. You still have your normal stuff, you still make albums, you still do that kind of stuff, but we take the value off music and we put the value on content, Okay, so that's what people want. They want content, not just videos, but content is a thing instead of just music. So what happens is we're still doing music videos, we're still doing all that kind of stuff, but we have a website. And this imaginary band, which is going to be called Grandad's Belly Button Fluff Extractors. So the Grandad's Belly Button Fluff Extractors have built up to an audience of let's say 100,000 people. I mean, this is a lot, but we can scale it backwards and forwards. They have an audience of 100,000 people. They're doing very, very well, but everyone's taking all their bits and they're not making any money. So they make this website, and on that website, they're going to do one thing. They're going to make one album per year, and they're going to have a subscription, which is going to be, let's say, £1 a month. But you're going to pay for it up front, 12 quid, basically the old school price of an album. So instead of buying an album or buying a t-shirt, you're buying a subscription. And for that subscription, you're going to get the album. Every year we're going to make an album, Grandad's Belly Button Fluff Extractors. And that album is going to be sent to you. It's going to be signed, because we're nice. You're also going to get the new t-shirt, because, you know, who doesn't want a t-shirt? That's cool. Then, once a year, and this is going to be a UK thing, for now, we'll do it. We might have a worldwide thing, but in the UK, we're going to do a gig, and we're going to put on a gig in a disused warehouse, and we're going to have sponsors who are going to pay for it, like Red Bull and Monster and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to invite all of the subscriptions to come down and be a part of this gig for free, and you get to chill out with the band. And the good thing with this is, if you're a local band, you can hire a venue for 100 quid. If you're Biffy Clyro, then you can hire Wembley Stadium, whatever you want to do, and you put on a free gig and everyone comes down and we have a massive end of year party. And one other thing, you're going to do content every single day, and it's going to go to an app on your phone or straight to your phone. But it's not going to go on YouTube, it's going to go on your phone, and it's going to come through to you, and it's going to say, Damian from Grandad's Belly Button Fluff Extractors is doing a video to you now. And you pick up your phone, you press the thing, you can watch it now or later, and it's me, and it's like, oh, hey dude, I'm at Maida Vale Studios, and we're just about to do something for BBC Live Lounge, thought you'd want to see it, so we're going to video it just for you. No one else can see it because it's through the subscription package, and you're getting daily content. And it could be daily content of me talking. It could be live gigs. It could be behind the scenes. It could be all the stuff that goes to a lot of these streams at the moment, like Facebook Live, like YouTube, like Spotify, like all of these things. But it's only going to come through to my website, and for that, you're going to pay £12, the price of a t-shirt or the price of an album. Now, if I have got an audience of 100,000 people, but we know that not everyone's going to be desperate to buy the album. But if out of those 100,000 people, if I could get 10,000 people to go, yeah, that sounds fair enough, I get so much value for money in that because it's content. In doing that, I'll pay £12. That's £120,000 a year, $150,000. That is enough money to have the band so that they are all on a wage and make a record and to get the t-shirts and send it out to everybody. Everyone's a winner because we are not getting the middleman in it. So what's great about this is it stops all of these middlemen coming in and taking out fractions here, there, and everywhere. And it basically just says, you are the masters, you are the creators, you are in control. Because at the moment you can already do 2/3 of the pie, but the distribution's getting difficult. This way it solves the distribution problem that we have of getting the music out there. Now, yes, you need to have an audience, but you're not saying that your album and your content only is available to subscriptions. That wouldn't work because you need to build your subscription. But what it means is you still do your live gigs, you're still able to buy an album, but if you're not a subscriber, you might have to wait an extra 3 weeks to a month to actually get it. You're not going to get the content if you're not a subscriber. So, that's what people want. Do I want the new Biffy Clyro album? Yeah, but I can get that for free. I've already got a Spotify subscription. Do I want Simon Neil popping up on my phone every day or two, that if I want to watch it, if I've got time, I can see Simon Neil and he can chat about what he's doing? Yeah, that'd be amazing. How much value do I put on that? Well, I'd pay 12 quid for that, for my favourite bands. So I was looking at sort of bands of different levels. Now, I'm in Brighton, and there's a band called The Architects, which is a Brighton, quite a heavy band, but I love them. They're an amazing band. They've got an audience on their Facebook of about 800,000 people. Now, they have got some hardcore fans. Like, there's lots of people who will just go, oh yeah, I've heard of them, they're fantastic, but they've got some hardcore fans. If they had 10% of those 800,000 people pay 20 quid for a year, because they're a bit of a bigger band, they could probably put their subscription up a little bit. 20 quid a year, 10%, so 80,000 people. That is, as you can see, 80,000 people times by 20 quid. That's 1.6 million pounds. Fucking what? If you're Biffy Clyro and you do it, and you say, yeah, do you know, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have this subscription. We're going to have this daily content. Everything's going to go out. And we've got, I don't know, 10 million fans. But out of that 10 million fans, you know, we're going to charge 40 quid because we're Biffy Clyro. And, you know, we're going to get probably 1 million people who actually subscribe to it. That's 40 million pounds. And who's the middleman? Nobody. There's no middleman. Yeah, you might have a manager and stuff, but you've already built the audience. So all you're doing now is you're using the audience to get rid of all the middlemen and do it yourself. All it means in the music industry is eventually, whereas the 7 labels have gone from 7 to 6 and now there's 3 main labels and everything else is a small indie label subsidiary of those labels, all trying to pick up tiny little bits of money and all trying to get a pot and trying to scrabble tiny bits of money from the middle, it doesn't happen. All of a sudden, the creator is in control of all of the money because they're in control of all of the content. So at the moment, YouTube, you can still use it, because, you know, from a subscriber's point of view, you're still building content on there, but you just go, yeah, that's cool stuff. But if you want daily content for Grandad's Belly Button Fluff Extractors, or for Biffy Clyro, or for whatever it is, I mean, the really great stuff is where you subscribe. That's where, like, you're getting instant stuff, and it could be a 10-second Snapchat, it could be a Vine live, a Facebook Live video, it could be anything. But that's where you're getting your value for money. And then it's just, what would you pay? If someone said to you about your favourite band, whatever your favourite band, and I'm not talking about just bands that you like, but there'll be one band that you go, I love that band. If someone said to you, well, would you pay 12 quid a year to actually get basically behind the scenes on anything, everywhere, all of the time, plus the album a month before its release, plus on top of that a t-shirt, plus a free gig? Would you do that? Probably. I would. I wouldn't do it for loads and loads of bands, but I don't have to. I just have to do it to the bands I'm a super fan of, and all of a sudden, I've made them into millionaires. Isn't that a weird concept? And I think that's where the music industry will go, because not only does it make complete sense for the artist, it doesn't make sense for the record labels, it makes complete sense for the artist, and the record labels are going to have to adapt by either saying, well, we aren't going to provide money for making a record, we are going to provide money for making content. So instead of being the owners of music, because music's worthless, it's what it's attached to, which is the content, which is the vehicle for the audience. And therefore, that's what people want. Yes, I want to go and listen to a Biffy Clyro record because I love Biffy Clyro, but I love Biffy Clyro and I love Simon Neil and I want to see him live and I love the musicianship and all that kind of stuff. I get access to all of that, more so because they'd make content just for me and the other subscribers. Would I pay for that? Absolutely, I would. And that, my friends, is the story of how I just solved the music industry's problems. So, you know, you don't have to pay me. Completely free, that was just what I did last night. I mean, can you imagine what I can do tonight? That was last night. Tonight, I don't know, television, film. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.